Flato here, welcome back. Brand new Bob lesson for you today. Kind of in the form of ones that I've been showing. I've been hearing feedback from your teachers that you guys appreciate these, and so I'm going to keep serving them up. Anything that I feel like can guide you in your life. Start today's Bob lesson with a question. Would you rather have high IQ, high skill set, high talent level, or would you rather have high grit factor, high perseverance factor, high mental toughness factor? Which would you rather have if you couldn't have both? On today's Bob lesson, I'm going to share an article with you today that argues that being gritty and being able to persevere through adversity lends to more success as an adult than just having high IQ or high skill set or high natural abilities alone. So many times I end up in conversations, it seems like lately, with conversations with students where, you know what, I can't fix this situation, you can't fix this situation. This may be a situation where you just got to kind of grit your teeth and grind through this. And as I've gotten older, as I've gotten more years under my professional belt, more years under my belt as an adult, I have found that no matter how much you prepare for something in life, you can get the education, you can work on your own IQ, you can prepare in a training program or an educational program, you can have everything organized and set out, but life is going to throw things at you. Life is going to throw adversity in your face. I promise you, you cannot get away from this. And so much of being successful in life, so much of being happy, being successful, being an accomplished person is when that happens, can you bear down and grind and get through it and be a gritty person and show some grit? And that's what this article is going to talk about today. As you get older, life gets better. I always tell this to students, as you get older, from my experience, life gets better, but life gets harder in a lot of ways. You get more stuff on your plate, the challenges become harder, but life overall gets better. So it's a little bit of good, but with that good comes some new challenges. So hope you guys enjoy this Bob lesson. All right, as I stated in the intro, this is an article that I found on Forbes magazine that I thought was really interesting. Kind of a lot of what I'm seeing a little bit with the 8th graders, and the title to this article is "Why Grit is More Important Than IQ When You're Trying to Become Successful." So the beginning of this talks about you got to fast forward into your 20s. You attended the party of a longtime friend and ran into a lot of people from high school that you hadn't seen in years. During chit chat over appetizers and drinks, you feel the friendly competition heating up. While comparing career accomplishments, you were shocked to learn that the kid from school with the genius IQ, the one all the teachers thought would be spectacularly successful, had struggled with his career. How could this be, you wondered? This was the person everyone thought would invent something that would change the world. It turns out that intelligence might not be the best indicator of future success. According to psychologist Angela Duckworth, the secret to outstanding achievement isn't talent. Instead, it's a special blend of persistence and passion that she calls grit. If you guys recall, I did a Bob lesson a couple years ago on this, but I think it's important to review at this time. Duckworth has spent years studying people, trying to understand what it is that makes high achievers so successful. And what she found surprised even her. It wasn't SAT, or this could be ACT scores someday. It wasn't IQ scores. That's IQ is natural intelligence. We all have a different natural intelligence or natural intelligence abilities. It wasn't even a degree from a top-ranking business school that turned out to be the best predictor of success. It was this combination of passion and perseverance that made high achievers special, Duckworth said. In a word, they had grit. Being gritty, according to Duckworth, is the ability to persevere. It's about being unusually resilient and hardworking, so much so that you're willing to continue on in the face of difficulties, obstacles, and even failures. It's about being consistently driven to improve. Let's stop and talk about that for a moment. Piggybacking on a Bob lesson that we had a couple weeks ago on millennials and how in your guys' time and in 2018, 2019 now, everything comes quick. We are so conditioned to having the things that we want right now with the advent of technology and all this stuff. And one of the things talked about a couple weeks ago is that anything that really has value in life, it's not going to come that easy. It's going to take a little bit more work. And that is exactly what this paragraph is talking about. Being gritty is the ability to persevere. It's about being unusually resilient and hardworking, so much so that you're willing to continue on in the face of difficulties, obstacles, and even failures. It's about being constantly driven to improve. In addition to perseverance, being gritty is also about being passionate about something. For the highly successful, Duckworth found that the journey was just as important as the end result. Even if some of the things they had to do were boring or frustrating, which I know that happens in school all the time. I didn't enjoy every single class I took. I've talked in previous Bob lessons, sometimes you have to play the game, sometimes you have to show up to that class that you don't like, pay attention, do what you got to do to earn your passing grade so that you can get onto those things that you're more passionate about. Picking up right here. Even if some of the things they had to do were boring or frustrating or even painful, they wouldn't dream of giving up. Their passion was enduring. What her research demonstrated is that it wasn't natural talent that made the biggest difference in who was highly successful and who wasn't. It was more about effort than IQ. Duckworth even came up with 2 equations she used to explain this concept. Talent times effort equals skill. Skill times effort equals achievement. So developing that skill and bringing that effort every day is the formula for achievement and success. Talent is how quickly your skills improve when you invest effort. Achievement is what happens when you take your acquired skills and use them, Duckworth explained. As you can see from the equations, effort counts twice. That's why IQ and SAT scores or ACT scores aren't a good indicator of someone's future success. It's because those scores are missing the most important part of the equation, the person's effort level, or what Duckworth calls their grittiness factor, their level of persistence and passion. What does that mean for you? It means that it's okay if you aren't the smartest person in the room or the smartest person in the job. It means the effort you expend towards your goals, perseverance, and your dedication throughout your career journey, your passion, are what matter more than how you scored on your SAT, ACT, or your IQ test. Why? Because grit will always trump talent. Or as Duckworth notes, our potential is one thing, what we do with it is quite another. All right, that brings us to this week's quote of the week, one of my favorites, and it is, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. We all have very different IQ levels. We have very different blessings that we have been dealt with from birth. And the main point out of this article that I wanted you guys to get is working hard and developing grit as a person and persevering through difficult things that I promise are going to come your way in life will get you so much further than just having talent or a high IQ level. All right, this week's Jelly Bean Question of the Week winners: Annalise Wade, Asa Fisher, Keith Callio, Sam Kaiser, Keegan Storm. I forget what the 2 terms were, but it was what comes before what, and obviously it'd be in the dictionary. We had a similar one, I think, this year with some different words. Good job. Kudos, crew. I had to pass over a couple students because they didn't have their last name. Don't do that to yourself. All right, this week's Jelly Bean Question of the Week. I'm kind of feeling this one lately. What goes up but never goes back down? You think you know the answer? Get your answer into the Bob box. Do it by the end of the week. Tune in next week to see if you're a winner. All right, Bobcats, Hope you all have a great week at the Holland Middle School.